We often celebrate the loud heroes, the ones who slay giants, lead armies, or call fire down from heaven. But what if I told you that some of the most powerful acts in the Bible came not from the spotlight, but from the shadows? From quiet corners, hidden tents, and simple hands. Today, I want to tell you about two such heroes. You've probably never heard a sermon about them. You've likely never seen them in a Sunday school play. But their courage and creativity left fingerprints on eternity. Let's start with Jael. Her story is short, tucked away in the book of Judges, but it hits like a thunderclap. The Israelites were under the iron grip of a Canaanite army led by a general named Sisera, a man known for his cruelty, especially toward women. He commanded 900 iron chariots. He was unstoppable, unchallenged. Until one day, he ran. After a crushing defeat in battle, Sisera fled, alone, desperate, and exhausted. He stumbled into the tent of Jael. Now Jael was no warrior. She wasn't a prophetess or a judge. She was a woman of peace, living between two powers, Israel and Canaan. Neutral ground, a quiet place, but something in Jael stirred. She welcomed Sisera in, gave him milk, covered him with a blanket. He relaxed, he slept, and then, in a moment so bold it nearly steals the breath from your lungs, Jael took a tent peg, an ordinary domestic object, and ended the life of a tyrant. One swing, one silent act of courage, and the war was over. Now pause with me here. Jael didn't have an army behind her. She wasn't on a battlefield. She was just someone who saw the moment and acted. When the chance to change history came knocking, she didn't wait for permission. She didn't wait to feel ready. She picked up what she had and changed the course of a nation. Now let's step out of the desert tent and into an artisan's workshop. Meet Bezalel. You may never have heard his name, but God did something for Bezalel that he did for almost no one else in Scripture. He called him by name, specifically, personally. Out of all the people in Israel, God chose this man to design the tabernacle, the sacred tent where heaven would meet earth. Bezalel wasn't a warrior. He wasn't a preacher. He was an artist, a craftsman, and that mattered to God. Scripture tells us that God filled him with his spirit, not to speak in tongues or perform miracles, but to create, to carve, to weave, to mold, to design. Every thread of gold, every carved cherub, every intricate pattern in the tabernacle, it flowed from the mind and hands of Bezalel. He didn't just build a tent, he built a place for God's glory to dwell. His art became a doorway between the divine and the earthly. And here's what that tells us. Creativity is sacred. Too often, we downplay the artist, the dreamer, the quiet ones. We think ministry only happens from a pulpit or a battlefield. But Bezalel's story reminds us that beauty matters to God, that excellence matters, that the work of our hands, our ordinary, skilled, patient, unseen work, can be holy. So why do Jael and Bezalel matter today? Because maybe you're not a Moses, maybe you're not a David, maybe you're not leading crowds or writing books or casting big visions. Maybe you're just trying to live faithfully in your corner of the world. And here's the truth. That's exactly where God moves. Jael shows us that the tools of freedom might look like tent pegs, not swords. Bezalel shows us that the presence of God might enter not through noise, but through beauty crafted in silence. And both of them whisper to us, you don't have to be loud to be brave. You don't have to be famous to be chosen. You just have to be willing. Willing to see the moment, willing to answer the call, willing to create, willing to act. So the next time you wonder if your courage is too quiet or your gifts too ordinary, remember these unsung heroes. Remember that heaven sees what the world overlooks. And maybe, just maybe, your moment is coming. The question is, will you be ready?